Your brain is currently in Disneyland mode, and that is why you are broke. The Matrix isn't what you saw in the movies. It's a biological prison of your own comfort zone. Welcome to part 1 of the Matrix World series, the Biotrap. Here is the neurobiological reason you can't escape the Matrix. When Neo saw the Matrix, he saw falling green code and a simulated world. But in 2026, the reality is far more terrifying because it's not an external simulation. It's an internal one. The Matrix isn't a computer program. It's your default mode network DMN, the part of your brain that craves the path of least resistance. While you think you're a free thinker, you are actually living in a biological amusement park designed by billion-dollar algorithms. They've mapped your dopamine receptors better than you know your own bank account. Today, I'm showing you the biological trap and why awareness is the only software update that matters. In neurobiology, your brain is a prediction machine. Its primary directive isn't to make you rich. It's to keep you alive while spending the least amount of glucose possible. It hates energy expenditure. To conserve power, it builds a comfort zone, a closed-circuit loop of predictable behaviors, stagnant thoughts, and passive consumption. This is your biological matrix, but here is the chilling reality. In 2026, the architects of the attention economy, the tech giants and the data merchants, have reverse-engineered your biology. They've discovered that if they provide you with a digital Disneyland accessible from your pocket 24/7, your brain will voluntarily imprison itself. They don't need to build walls when they can just feed you hits of cheap, synthetic dopamine that keep you paralysed in the scroll. When you attempt to break the cycle, when you try to start that business, master a high-leverage AI skill, or plot your exit from the 9 to 5, a biological alarm goes off. Your amygdala, the brain's ancient survival center, screams. It doesn't see a career move. It sees a threat to your safety. It floods your system with cortisol, creating a state of visceral restlessness and stress so uncomfortable that you voluntarily retreat. You crawl back into the simulation, the TikTok scroll, the Instagram feed, the Netflix binge. You settle for cheap, simulated dopamine because your brain is too terrified to chase the real thing. The Matrix isn't a prison of iron bars. It's a prison of low cognitive load. It's a velvet-lined trap that keeps you just comfortable enough to never realize you're being harvested. This is why your brain prefers the safety of passive consumption, the endless scroll, over the active creation of posting content yourself. Moving from consumer to producer requires a massive biological energy tax that your brain is currently unwilling to pay. It would rather watch someone else live than spend the calories to build your own reality. It settles for cheap, simulated dopamine because it's too terrified of the energy cost of real success. You aren't being held against your will. You are being held by your own biology's desire to stay safe, stay small, and stay broke. The distracted class is going down. We are entering the great 2026 divide. On one side, you have the infected class. These are people whose prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for long-term wealth, is physically shrinking because they've outsourced their focus to an algorithm. They feel like they are progressing because they watch success shorts, but because they are in the Disneyland mode, they never execute. On the other side are the wealth architects. They understand that focus is the new global currency. They treat their brain not as a hard drive for data, but as a processor for high-level strategy. They use AI not to consume more, but as a biological exoskeleton to automate the tasks that keep the 99% trapped in the matrix. To break the matrix, you don't need more willpower. Willpower is a battery that drains every time you make a decision. To win, you need to fight a machine with a machine. You need an AI friction filter. To win, you don't need more discipline. You need a systemic infrastructure. Here is the 3-step protocol I use to force my biology into the success zone. Step 1, outsource your discipline. Your willpower is a finite battery. Stop wasting it. Use AI-driven app blockers like Opal or Freedom to detect when your brain is slipping into the default mode. These tools lock the device before you even realize your hand has moved. You aren't quitting social media.
You are physically preventing a biological relapse. Step 2. Hire a silicon strategist. In 2026, the cost of a human consultant is a liability. Instead, I hire an AI as my chief strategist. Every morning, I don't ask myself, what should I do? That causes decision fatigue, a primary symptom of the poverty virus. Instead, I ask my strategist, based on my current trajectory, what is the single most high-leverage move I can make in the next 60 minutes? By moving from deciding to executing, you bypass the amygdala's resistance entirely. Step 3. The motivation reservoir. Motivation is a chemical wave. It's not a constant state. On my high dopamine days, the days I feel unstoppable, I don't just work, I architect. I write 7 high-intensity, strategic questions about my business, 1 for every day of the week.
When the inevitable low hits on a Tuesday afternoon, and the matrix starts calling me back to the comfort zone, I don't rely on my feelings. I take one of those pre-written questions and feed it to my AI strategist. The response acts as a neurochemical jumpstart. It forces my brain to re-engage with the game rather than the simulation. I'm not waiting for motivation. I have manufactured it through data-driven prompts. I am terraforming my comfort zone into my success zone. Step 4. Retuning the RAS. Your reticular activating system RAS is the filter that decides what reality you see. In the matrix, your RAS only sees obstacles. By using these AI audits, you force your brain to filter for high-leverage gaps in the market. You stop seeing a world of scarcity and start seeing a world of chess moves. This is only the first layer of the trap. Over the next few weeks, we are going to deconstruct the more specific biological matrices that are holding your net worth hostage, starting with why manifestation is actually a sedative that prevents you from creating. If you are still watching this, you've already passed the first test. Your focus is stronger than the 90% who clicked away when things got technical. You are ready to become an architect. To help you start your exit, I've prepared 2 tools for you today. First, comment on the word AI architect below. If you do, I'll send you the specific AI prompts I mentioned in this video, including the exact questions I use to jumpstart my motivation and the instructions to set up your silicon strategist. Second, if your dopamine baseline is currently too high and you can't even find the focus to start, you need to watch my previous deep dive on the 2026 dopamine reset. That video contains the hard reset protocol your brain needs before you can build these systems. You can also download my free 7-day dopamine reset checklist in the description by using the link below, or just comment reset, and I'll make sure you get the path to reclaim your mind. Stop being the product that the algorithms sell. Start being the producer that the world pays. The matrix is deep, but the exit is a system. I'll see you in the next 1%.